how is CPF? So I guess someone is either a US citizen who is a PR in Singapore because they're asking about CPF, or they may be Singaporean who holds a US green card. They didn't say, but I assume it's one of the two. CPF is a common subject area for us, because typically when you work with US based tax professionals, they don't understand what the Central Provident Fund is. They don't understand what the CPF is. They don't know whether it's like a superannuation in Australia. They don't know whether to treat it as a PFIC, a passive foreign investment company for US purposes. They don't know whether to treat it as a trust for US purposes. And it gets really confusing. So, being that we are a US tax team that's actually based in Singapore, that gives us a greater closeness to the nuances of working in Singapore. If you go to our website, htj.tax, there is an article that I wrote about the CPF, and in it, I was actually able to quote an opinion given by the US Embassy in Singapore. Back in the days when the US Embassy had a bit more budget, and there was actually an IRS team, an Internal Revenue Service team based in the US Embassy in Singapore. They were asked to consider the CPF, and they gave a written opinion. So we have that on our website. But essentially, no, it's not like the super in Australia. It's not going to be a trust. It's not going to be a PFIC. What it is, but at the same time, you can't get the tax benefits that you would get from a Singapore tax perspective, because from a Singapore tax perspective, you get to reduce potentially your taxable income to the extent that you contribute to the CPF, but you don't get that benefit from the US. So it's not treated like a qualified plan from a US qualified plan, like let's say a 401k. What you need to do is the interest that you get from the CPF, that will go on your Schedule B. And the fact that you have a CPF means that you're probably going to want to check the box at the bottom of your Schedule B. Depending on the threshold of your other financial assets, it may trigger Form 8938, and it will probably trigger Form 114, which is your FBAR, your Foreign Bank Account Report. So, one last thing that a lot of people forget, even teams that are based in Singapore, with the CPF, there's also an employer contribution. So you're an employee, you can contributing, but there's an opportunity for your employer to contribute as well. Your employer contribution is taxable to you on your US tax return. So I hope that helps. Have a look at the website. And if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out, and we're happy to have that conversation with you or your advisor back in the US to help him or her understand how the CPF should be treated.
Please subscribe, like, share, and comment below. Our books and upcoming events are available at htj.tax. Email us at help@htj.tax to engage us, to advise on international tax or business matters.